Well, I'm on a podcast and I just can't listen to it because I can't hear the sound of my own voice at this point.
It's funny, though, because you have a perception of your own voice as being so totally different. Then when you hear it, you go,
exactly.
Is that really me?
Do I sound as nerdy as that?
It's also, I don't know why, but when we speak on this podcast, I just turn more German than I usually speak, which I hate.
We will forgive you for this.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We will forgive you. But
Just
we
this-
have some ways of making you speak with a proper English accent.
Just this once.
No, I feel like Leon puts on his RB accent, and then all his vowels become slightly different than usual. When he says the word out, he says out.
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 I don't.
You do.
No, I don't.
No, I do.
Well, if you speak with an American accent and make that kind of sound, you sound Canadian.
That's fair.
Then you're oot and a boot.
Yeah.
Brilliant's breaking. No, I have family in England, but I don't talk to them as much anymore. But whenever I either go to England or like listen to a lot of British music or movies or listen to anything British, and at some point I adapt back.
Mm-hmm.
But since my surroundings is just way more German than English currently, it just turns more German, which I don't like.
Yeah, but I mean, now listening to you, I would never think you're German.
Okay.
Isn't that sweet of me?
It is. Thank you very much.
That's right. Insert thank you here. Well done.
Note down compliment.
We've all got 'em.
Mark it in the calendar.
Aw. Well, I mean, frankly, in this podcast, Leon does have to take a lot of flack because there's
Yeah.
a lot of shooting that goes on between these two. I almost feel like there's a sibling rivalry going on between these two. I'm not even sure if it's for my attention. I think it's just for attention.
Oh, no, on her side, it's for your attention.
I see.
For daddy's attention.
It's a weird dynamic.
I think we're getting slightly too deeply into the sibling rivalry thing here.
Gotta watch out.
You don't know the half of it at this point.
Which seems a blessing in disguise.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Don't.
Don't get to know them too quickly. Let's just put it that way. They're great at a distance.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We have known each other for years.
True.
Yeah. Are
So
there any
that's unfair.
voluntary organizations that help you rehabilitate afterwards?
I think it's just personal therapy. Everyone's got to work on their own PTSD. So,
Wow.
Increasing it or
That went dark very quickly, didn't it?
Wow. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? Slight cracks here. My heart was broken.
the shards
Do you know what
of
this
your
is?
heart.
The world's smallest fiddle.
leave it to the American to mention PTSD.
I know we're good at causing it too, aren't we? Especially if you've been to one of my seminars. I mean, definitely that'll be something that'll follow you for a while.
That's
Oh
fair.
well.
There's one of the problems about, sort of purely audio podcast. You can't do the sort of the necessary faces, I don't have a problem with that.
And for the audience listening, right now Franz is closing one eye and shaking the other one uncontrollably by moving one of his lips down to the side.
This is
I know you can now
audible
see it in your head.
And it'll take weeks to get rid of the image.
If you don't know what an epileptic fit looks like, Google it.
Or a stroke.
Google it, have one.
Or have one.
Yeah, it's nothing like first-hand experience.
That's true. But mine's on back order, so I don't know when I'm going to get my stroke. It's on the way.
That went dark.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh dear.
Please don't die. Thank
On
you.
a long enough time scale, it's coming for us all one
Just
day.
tell me beforehand so I can record.
Wow.
Could you get my froth from the good side?
Yeah, and you could possibly even get your phone out, to film it.
I record the not drooling side.
Aw,
Just for you.
thanks.
Kate will record the other one.
Poor Kate's got to take the bad side.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Well done.
it's got to be an interesting mashup in any
Yeah.
case. Yeah.
I mean, if you do it side by side with two different lenses, you could do a VR version of my stroke. This is getting really weird, folks, real quick.
I really hope this doesn't age badly.
Oh, listening to it after my stroke, you mean? Yeah.
If you can hear something.
At least I can laugh about it now. I don't know if I can laugh afterwards.
Yeah. Imagine laughing and drooling at the same time. It's like,
Oh, I do that all the time. That's okay.
okay.
Yeah, it's called looling.
LOOLOOO. Okay, good. So, greetings, persons of quality, and welcome to this, your next episode of Anglisten Assemble. With me, as always, is Leon. How you doing today, Leon?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent. I think we need to check your levels at this point. We're
Please.
laughing too hard already. And always with us as well is Kate. Kate, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Hanging in there. It's a lovely sunny Thursday afternoon at the time of recording in a corner office that I don't normally get the opportunity or privilege to sit in. So what's not to like? And also because we have with us visiting lecturer Franz Andres Morrissey. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much I think at this point one says, for having me.
We'll see if you've been had at the end of the day.
Oh dear.
So yeah, maybe just to give our listener some context, what exactly brought you to Bielefeld to visit us this fine week?
It was the ICE from... Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a good one, folks. Watch out.
Was it punctual?
Believe it or not, it was. It was. I mean, I wrote some time ago, and we've decided actually to make a recording of it, haven't we? The ICE Blues.
Oh, yeah, definitely we should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which sort of describes the woes of travellers on the German ICE. But I must admit, from Hamburg to here, it was punctual to the minute.
Nice.
It was brilliant.
So you don't hear that enough. People don't praise Deutsche Bahn as much as you expect. I don't know if that's the right verb. But you don't hear about compliments for the Deutsche Bahn often.
No,
Well-
but I suppose you didn't expect, you didn't want some kind of light quip, something much deeper and more sincere and stuff. Yeah.
We'll take it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
we can't always have what we want. No,
But if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need.
yeah, yeah.
There's a train a-comin', rolling down the line. It's 20 minutes late and due to leave ahead of mine. Folks are standing on the platform, waiting just like me. We're all hoping to travel on the ICE. Now we're all sitting on the train, waiting till it goes. The minutes they are ticking by, but the doors refuse to close. There's a technical issue, we hear the train conductor say. So before we can depart, there'll be a short delay. Then the train starts a-moving slowly down the track. We're all kind of fooled by this, beginning to sit back. But we won't make our connection, in fact our fate is sealed. 'Cause now we are left standing for half an hour in some field. Then at the next station, we're in for some fun. People join us from another train, from a cancelled one. They're hanging from the luggage racks, sitting on the floor in the aisles. Well, at least there's lots to talk about on the remaining mile. And as we're chuntering on, We finally relax. The conductor comes on saying there are children on the tracks. We slow down to a standstill till at last the way is free. Your patience tried to the nth degree on the IC. We're not making watch headache, the hour is getting late. The announcements sound like the conductor's getting into a state. She will check out new connections, she tells us incessantly. But it's not very reassuring for travellers on the IC. Some travellers are grumpy, some take it in their stride, some get infuriated, others see the funny side. Some point out that somehow we all get from A to B. Even if you decide to travel on the IC. But whichever way one takes it, all of us agree that's just how it goes, or not, on a German IC.
I came here for the first time 20 years ago, thanks to the inimitable and wonderful Pat Scorgi.
A wonderful person.
One of whose students had come across my website at the time when I was at Bern University, called creative-writing.ch, visited by a multitude of probably 5 people. And one of them.
So a couple more than our listeners.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh no, it wasn't a question. It was
right.
a couple more than our listeners.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And this lady came by. She was, I remember her very well. She was considerably taller than me, which is easy to achieve. Sort of blonde Northern German lady. And when we went to a restaurant together outside Bern University, she ordered a big beer, which girls in Switzerland don't do. And that basically sort of like led to my first visit to do a creative writing class with Pat. And I've been back, with the exception, surprise, surprise, of COVID basically every 3 years. So, whenever there was this bunch of students who had safely sort of sailed through the BA course and had moved on to Pastors New, I was invited back to traumatize the next lot. And,
so one lump for every cohort.
Yeah, and so over time, it sort of they began to realize that I could also do phonetics and phonology, or I could do performance studies, or I could do that and this, that, and the other. And so I'm here for a week now, happily retired in my 4th year. Really doing what I'm enjoying very, very much, i.e. teaching, but yay, without the admin that is usually associated with it, and without the marking, which is also associated with it.
Absolutely. I could sing an elegy right now just based on that. So one of the things that we like to do on this podcast is we call it the molasses lightning round, in which we ask our guests in molasses lightning fashion different questions. We all take it in turns, Leon, Kate, and I, to give you an opportunity to give us your perspective on different things. And I'm going to start us off, I'm going to be so free, with the easy question, and that would be, do you prefer coffee or tea?
That's not an easy question.
Ooh, good. I've already hit pay dirt.
Yeah. Now, I find that coffee singularly fails to work to wake me up. So, I don't really care when I have it. But living in an English household, I think it has to be tea.
Okay. Otherwise, they revoke your English privileges or...
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I have to start speaking English with a heavy Swiss accent, which is not a problem. I can do that. I can totally do that. You can even choose which Swiss dialect it could be. You know, for instance, Basel. I can totally do that. Yeah. Anyway, let's not get into this. This is
there seems to be some
hole number one.
Yeah, there's some weeds that we could get into for sure there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. So we've got a little bit of both, but preference towards tea. Leon, you want to take us forward?
So maybe not a drink, but do you have a favorite comfort food?
How cliched is that? Chocolate.
That's fine.
I absolutely love chocolate, which is a bit of a problem because my wife is worried about my fitness. You know, at the tender age of 68, in that difficult period between birth and death, you want to be a bit careful about what you eat, and I just love chocolate.
Any specific type?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Any specific type of chocolate, dark, anything in there?
No. I'm not too keen on the sort of heavy-duty cocoa stuff. It's got to be bloody sweet. I mean, what's the point of chocolate if it's not sweet? You know?
I don't get non-dairy sweets at all. Like, if you have something sweet, a dessert, just indulge it. Let it be sweet. Let it be unhealthy and dairy.
Yeah. I think I'm fully aware of the fact that it's important to eat healthily, especially in advancing years. But on the other hand,
I'm not judging.
Let's sin from time to time.
Well, there is the question of quantity of life versus quality of life, and I'm sure chocolate adds to the quality portion, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of dread a doctor telling me you're not allowed to do this, and you're not allowed to do that, and you're not allowed to do that, and then you say, "Will I live longer?" He says, "No, but it'll feel like it."
So we can get into the relativity of time. Nice. Okay.
Oh, next question. That's why you're looking at me like that?
Yes.
Okay. So the hardest questions of all that you could ask someone from an English department, favorite book. But we already agreed. You can give us your top 3, top 5 favorite books.
Okay, favorite book, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nice.
Okay.
Now, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is just brilliant. And the observations in it where you sort of go, yeah. You know, the idea that if you ever sort out what the universe is all about, it'll disappear and immediately be replaced by something even more bizarre. There is another theory that says this has already happened. This man have the finger on the pulse of things, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, it would be Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm sort of like not particularly sold on one specific book, but I actually really like. I really like Charles Dickens. I think that's they're sort of beautifully written books. Yeah, top 3 you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Well, I mean, we narrowed it down to 5 of the Hitchhiker's books, so
Yeah.
we're doing
Although
okay.
I must say, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish is a bit weaker than the others.
Okay.
I always forget the name of the author who wrote The Hitchhikers.
Douglas Adams.
What about his other book, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency?
Yeah, The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul. I think the titles are better than the books, I have to say. I like the idea of The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul. But I think they're entertaining, but they don't quite have that kind of quirky insight into life, the universe, and everything.
I mean,
or 42.
I mean, the English drama group has performed actually Dirk Gently's Holistic Agency.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel like he's not smart, he's just lucky. And I feel like if Inspector Gadget and Johnny English would have a child, that would be Dirk Gently.
Dirk Gently.
Yeah.
That sounds very intriguing. The trouble is, I have never actually watched a Johnny English film. But given the fact that it's Rowan Atkinson, I dread to think that it's anything more than silly faces. But yeah, there we go.
Well, I mean, he actually talks in those films, so he's got a little bit more than just the faces.
Which has always irritated me because I have watched Mr. Bean for so long and then watched the first Johnny English And after a minute, I had to stop because he spoke, and it just shocked me to the core that he could speak.
So you're not a Blackadder fan either, then?
To be fair, I didn't recognize him in that at first.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that speaks to his acting ability.
I watched Blackadder before I watched Mr. Bean, and I didn't connect the two at all.
Oh, wow.
But I connected when I watched John English.
Okay.
But I mean, he was a member of the 9 o'clock news team, and he was hilarious in that, and it went considerably beyond silly faces, and some of the stuff was downright disgusting. There's this scene in an Italian restaurant, and he's the pizzaiolo, and he has these two pizzas, and he goes, "Due pizze Napoli with extra mozzarella."
Yeah, that sounds like Rowan Atkinson.
You might have to cut that one out.
Oh, we'll keep it unless Rowan Atkinson comes for us.
Yeah.
So he can participate in the podcast too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rowan Atkinson, I don't know, for those people that haven't flown to England yet, when you take a British airline and you fly to England, they sometimes have actors show you what you have to do on the airplane. And there's also Rowan Atkinson doing it and other actors. And it's so funny when he does it. Just seeing him do this just rekindled my interest in watching as much of what he does as possible.
Yeah, fair enough. So it sounds like resounding persuasive arguments to get back into Rowan Atkinson, folks.
Yeah.
If you so choose. All right, so we're already kind of on the subject. I mean, we've already mentioned Johnny English, but we're going to move then from the book world to the movie world. Do you have any favorite films?
I don't actually. I consume fairly indiscriminately, so I can't really say I have. I anticipated, sort of saying something about a sort of specific art house movie that would make me sound like a connoisseur, auteur movie kind of thing. But I'm actually a very simple soul in that respect, and
That's fine.
I quite like Minions.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so relatable. Thank you for saying that. This is so amazing. Yeah.
King
Well,
Bob.
we had we have 4 kids, and by now 5 grandkids, and you get to see an awful lot of kiddie movies, and some of them are absolutely atrocious, and some of them are absolutely brilliant. I mean, Jungle Book, but not the animated version later on. The original Jungle Book was just a masterpiece. Of slowness as well. You have one scene in which Mowgli walks through a clearing, hitting leaves with a stick. Nothing else happens, and it's probably about 30 seconds. And that sort of thing I sort of missed in, Aladdin is brilliant, but there is your quintessential ADHD character, sort of
Yes, indeed.
talking faster than the average person can think. And the film is cut like that. I had to watch it about 5 times until I got half the jokes.
Well, in your defense, I think Robin Williams was probably doing a lot of cocaine while all of this was going on.
Yeah.
I think his brain was working at a higher level than most people's.
Yeah.
But that might have been chemically induced.
What do they call it? Colombian marching powder, I think.
Yes, or the devil's dandruff, or whatever. Sure. There's plenty of nice terms. But I mean, rest his soul. Wonderful, wonderful comedic actor. So yeah, definitely Minions is not one of the things that I would have expected, but it's actually one of the films that I would definitely share as, that's pure entertainment.
I could have said something L'Enfant Sauvage by Jean-Claude Truffaut. Is it? No, not Jean-Claude. Truffaut? That is, would have made me sound so wonderfully intellectual.
No idea.
Yeah, and it looks like all of us are just drawing a blank and would just nod and go along with it.
Let me think of 1 or 2 more obscure filmmakers.
By all means. And then after this podcast, we and maybe 1 or 2 people out there listening would be like, okay, maybe I have to watch that movie. So we could drum up some, I don't know, ideas of marketing for the films that you think deserve to be watched.
Just imagine hearing the podcast and thinking about minions and deciding to write a paper about them on linguistics. The way that, the language works is actually amazing. And everyone can understand them, given you're somewhere in Europe. And did you know that the counting system is in Korean? Like they count until 3 in Korean. And then there is, I think they mix it something, but I'm pretty sure they cannot count over 5.
It's overrated anyway.
So what is it in Korean?
하나, 둘, 셋. So
하나, 둘, 셋. Okay.
yeah, and then they'd be counting, and I think then they start combining the words, but I'm not sure anymore. I'd be lying if I tell you something else. So, but yeah, this is really fun.
Yeah, trying to parse that out. I mean, if you do just listen to the language, it's like, wait, there's some Italian, there's some French, there's some English. So maybe that's what makes up the universal appeal. I mean, everyone can understand just a little bit. And then
I haven't seen it.
No?
I've seen the Despicable Me movies.
Okay, then you get the idea.
You get, yeah.
Is there 3 or 4 of those?
3.
And I've seen all of them at this point, but I haven't
think
seen
there are
Minions
3.
yet.
Well, and then there's the Minions movie itself.
And the Minions movie itself, yeah.
Right.
Aren't
Good
there
stuff.
2
I think
Are
there's
there
2.
Minion movies?
Oh, right.
There's 2.
Where's the purple guy, too?
Yeah,
The
right?
purple guy?
Yeah, there's a purple Oh, I don't want to... Spoiler alert.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Purple
Don't spoil the Minion
Minions.
movie for me.
I know. The 5 or 10-year-old Minion movie. Spoilers. Sorry.
I'm definitely going to watch it now.
No, I don't want to watch it. It's purple. I know it's coming. Sorry, folks. Okay. Leon, I believe you're up next.
Maybe if it's not a Minion. What would be your favorite fictional character?
Feel free to choose a Minion
It could
here.
be a
How
Minion as
dare
well.
you?
Well, I wouldn't know it then.
I think in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy universe, it would have to be either Trillian, who's the only one who's not taken in by any of this crap. But I do have a very, very soft spot for Marvin the paranoid android. Brain the size of a planet. And they tell you, go and get the ape man.
Or having conversations with doors or elevators along the way.
And, so one of the characters saying, isn't the sunsets wonderful? And Marvin says, I've seen it. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
I think nothing stuck to me more from these books than Marvin's conversation with a tank. There's like this intelligent AI tank, and he gets the tank to kill himself, basically. And I love it so much. It is so great.
Yeah. I think there's something that the armament industry has missed out on.
You don't have to kill your enemy, just make them depressed.
Yes. Oh, God, I don't want to fire another shot, please. Yeah, that would be the way forward.
Absolutely. I think we found what our next virus is that we have to send off to whatever's going to, the Russian army or Ukraine.
What, depression?
Yes, we should upload depression into all of those quote-unquote smart missiles and things like that.
I think
And
they
then
got that already.
They
but sure.
don't want to blow up.
Real people personalities.
I'm trying to now picture what a neurotic rocket looks like.
I'm never going to hit the target. Oh, my God, I'm never going to.
My explosion isn't going to be big enough for you, is it?
Here I am doing what I can, and it's still not enough.
Nice. All right. Cool.
Okay. Do you have a favorite slang term? And yes, you can curse.
I talk in slang a lot, so it's relatively difficult to come up with a favorite slang term. But I like variations of the bee's knees.
Okay.
Like the bee's knees, the dog's bollocks, or the mutt's nuts.
So in context, that show last night was just the dog's bollocks?
The mutt's nuts.
Or the mutt's nuts. Nice. Meaning it was a positive thing. I think maybe some people out there don't know what the bee's knees might be.
I have. Some years ago, I was asked by an English insurance company to explore English sayings and explain them and sort of say why foreigners are intrigued by them. And yeah, that was one that we didn't put in because we couldn't figure out where it came from. There's another one which is also slightly confusing, which is by the skin of your teeth. But we found that apparently it's a biblical reference. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have to go back and look up my notes because I can't recall what it was. But there are some that are quite confusing, like, freeze the balls off a brass monkey. Yeah, that's what everybody thinks. Get your mind out of the gutter, mate.
I mean, have you heard of piss and vinegar? Just the expression.
Pissing vinegar?
Piss and vinegar.
No.
So he's full of piss and vinegar or
It's
something like that?
Just it's raining like piss and vinegar. It's bad. But if you go to America, there's certain regions where they turned this into a positive for some reason.
So but they're American, you know.
But so apparently,
They're a very sad lot. I agree.
apparently, depending on if you go to England or to America, it is either something negative or something positive.
Well, see, my understanding as an American would be something that I would say of somebody who I find choleric or something along those lines. So he's full of piss and vinegar.
But I mean, just to come back to, because I said it's not actually a rude expression, to freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
Oh, yeah, please.
Has got something to do with the little boys on warships who were meant to bring powder were called powder monkeys. And the cannonballs were sort of stored on squares made of bronze called brass monkeys. And the story goes, but I've since been told by a physicist that that's bullshit. They would contract to the point where they would fall off. So it's actually got nothing to do with external sexual organs of monkeys.
Okay, fair enough. So instead, it's all about the brass then contracting in the cold, and the balls that are resting on top of it just kind of fall off the thing next to the cannon.
An absolutely useless piece of information which can be seamlessly woven into a boring after-dinner conversation.
I like to think that's where we rate. Apparently, that's where we are on the podcast.
Welcome to yet another public servant.
I think that's most of what we do at this point.
It is. I'm not going to be too precious about it, I guess. Okay, so we've got some slang terms. How about moving into punctuation with the ever controversial Oxford comma? Where do you stand, yay or nay?
I prefer not to have a comma in front of the last element.
God damn it. It's funny, we got people on both sides of the line here, and I initially was in the same boat, like, fewer commas, less punctuation always seems more efficient to me, but I've been kind of moved in this kind of discussion that we continually have about the Oxford comma.
Well, I must admit, as far as punctuation goes, I have subscribed to Grammarly because the university, I'm still a sort of adjunct researcher, so, which means I retain my IT privileges, and they offered to give me Grammarly.
Okay.
And Grammarly drives me nuts because, first of all, it corrects things that I expressly did that way and not the way in which they suggested, because I think it's more personal. And the other thing which pisses me off is at the end of every sentence initial adverbial, they insist on a comma. And I sort of think, in summer, comma, I go to the beach. No, wouldn't put a comma there. But, so I totally agree with your point of view. Too many commas spoil the sentence.
Yeah. Although I can see why someone would at least think that possibly a comma could fit there because they want to pause if they're saying such a thing out loud. In summer, I do this. But to me, it's just unnecessary ink for the most part.
Well, I come from a place where it comes to reading stuff out loud. And when I read stuff out loud, comma help to have pauses and breaks in a sentence. So I love every comma because I know how it helps me just punctuate whatever I want to say and what I have in the sentence, and I know what comes next. If there's no comma at all, it's just more difficult. But when I read stuff, I don't care if there's a comma or not, because it doesn't stop my reading flow at all. It's just like, oh, okay, there's something. And like you said, well, like in summer, comma, I would not write it like this, but if I would have to read it out loud, I might put a comma there just for me to put more emphasis on this.
Okay. Well, I mean, how are you going to deal? Because I find that a lot of German speakers find that difficult. How do you deal with non-defining relative clauses? No, sorry, defining relative clauses, restrictive relative clauses. You know, the ones that don't even have a relative pronoun. And in a way, that can really trip you up when you read, because you suddenly sort of, oh shit, I'm in a new clause here. You know.
Yeah. The chicken I ate last night was wonderful. The chicken that I ate, which I ate, the chicken I ate.
Whom?
The chicken whom I ate.
Okay, we're getting to personalized chickens here.
It sounds like something that would get the interest of a vegetarian, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personalizing a chicken.
His name was David. He had a family.
Aw. Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
We ate his eggs for breakfast, so.
Yeah, chicken for breakfast.
That's what I
His
thought, but I
eggs.
didn't say.
There we go.
You know, when a mummy chicken loves a daddy chicken very much.
He lays eggs.
So we've got Oxford commas covered.
Am I the next one to? Okay.
Wasn't I the next one?
Ask the question.
Okay, sure. If you could live in any literary world, film, movie, whatever, which one would you choose and why?
Yeah, most of them are kind of not terribly happy places,
Yeah.
and I quite like happy places. So that's a very difficult question. I don't know. Riser, Star Trek.
Ooh, all right.
Okay.
Star Trek.
Although it sounds like a tremendously boring place, and quite frankly, you know, the sort of suggestive dress codes, which are terribly, terribly Puritan and not at all sexy, kind of are, you know, put you off. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, Rise,
Okay.
Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek, I mean, that does give you the added advantage of, you know, unlimited resources. You've got all sorts of different places in the universe you could travel to. If you don't like the weather, jump on a transporter, poof, you're somewhere else with, I don't know, purple oceans and green skies. Sounds like a pretty decent place to be.
Yeah.
But you can also solve every single problem inside of an hour, which is a nice
Yeah,
thing.
and sometimes you realize that it's sort of like 40 minutes and no real solution is in sight yet, and then there you are.
Then we've got the Enterprise Ex Machina to solve it all.
Indeed.
I feel like every planet and every person in the known universe in Star Trek has like Captain Kirk's hotline number and just calls them for every single problem.
What amazes me is the number of M-star planets,
Yeah.
M-class planets. You know, the universe is positively lousy with them.
Well, I mean, if you've got a way to travel between them, I'm sure that makes it easier.
But more M-class planets than you could shake a phaser at. You know. So.
Indeed. Nice. All right. So, Kate, you were so nice. Moving on to the next question.
Yeah, right. If you could talk to one celebrity, author, or historical figure, dead or alive, who would that be?
Well, I sort of thought I should say Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Because you know, that would make me sound like a really considerate human being. But I don't know. I'm actually quite interested in Feste.
Who?
Feste in Twelfth Night,
Mm-hmm.
the clown,
Oh,
Who-
okay.
who sort of sounds like the kind of guy who you just can't pull the wool over his eyes. You know, he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And he characterizes the folly that goes on around him in fairly scurrilous songs, and I think that, yeah, interesting character. So it would have to be Feste from Twelfth Night.
I mean, he sounds like a wonderful person to have around if you're ever wondering what exactly is going on. So maybe you're fooled, but he's not, and he would be a great advisor in that sense.
I think so, yeah.
All right. Cool. So the last question on our list is there any kind of like trash TV or awful music or something, I don't know, that you would consider yourself, so it's very relative, to be a guilty pleasure as far as media that you consume?
Yeah, it would be 1960s pop.
Okay.
Like the Hollies. The
I'm already lost. Please continue.
Okay. The Tremolos, Marmalade.
Okay.
Tommy James and the Shondells.
All right. But why do you think guilty pleasure with this particular genre?
Actually, the Beach Boys would probably be in there as well, because there is a kind of lightness that borders onto insubstantiality in there, but at the same time, they really knew how to write tunes, and they really, really have got lovely harmonies.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, I find myself going for that rather. If I had a choice between going to a Beach Boys concert or going to a Hollies concert on the one hand, and a Mahler concert, I'm afraid it'd be a foregone conclusion.
Okay.
I mean, I admire Mahler. I just don't have the necessary. I forgot to bring a book.
Fair enough.
I feel like if you put lightness and insubstance, I can't pronounce this word.
Substance.
Yeah, exactly. That one. If we say music that is like that, is a guilty pleasure that is like most modern music at this point.
Oh yeah,
Like-
but that's not a pleasure.
No.
Now we're dividing lines in here. Yeah, but I mean, Brian Wilson and what the Beach Boys did, especially with the harmonies, like you say, it's just incredible. I mean, going back and listening to any of their albums is...
Yeah, it's the same with the Eagles. You know, the Eagles have got sort of soaring harmonies. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, obviously. And I must admit, I'm a great lover of harmonies, and the group that I play in at the moment is sort of like really sold to, you know, vocal harmonies. And I sort of thought, it's a shame I had to wait until I was over 60 to get into a band like that. But
So do tell us more about this band.
Well, yeah. It's a group that consists of a couple, Stephen Farron, who's an American, and Mo Brandley, who's, as you can probably gather, Swiss, and myself. And mainly what we do is sort of like very eclectic choices. We have a CD out on which you have a Beatles song, you have a Robbie Burns song, you have a Bob Dylan song, you have Janis Ian, and some traditionals. And it's basically just we sing what we like, we play what we like. And I must admit, listening to the album, which I do very rarely because I find it a bit self-indulgent, but every time, and not as if self-indulgent, that makes it sound as if it was a bad thing. Yeah.
I was going to say, I listen to this podcast all the time. And
There's the guilty pleasure.
I'm going to be honest. I don't
that's
find
your
that
guilty pleasure, is it?
Not at all. I feel no guilt whatsoever.
Yeah, no, but it is basically. It sounds good. My brother-in-law has got a stereo system which costs about as much as a middle-class car. And when I was at Pat's yesterday, we listened to it on a tiny little, portable disc player, and on both of them, the vocals come across really nicely. The rest doesn't quite in the same way, but the vocals do, which is great. And that is basically what I spend a lot of my time on in retirement now, and really live in. There's another nice slang expression: the life of Riley.
The life of
I
Riley.
don't know who the hell Riley is, but
Sounds like a nice guy.
yeah.
Sounds like a slight against the Irish to me, but I don't know.
It probably
I'm not
is,
against that.
Right.
I'm not against that at all.
Oh, of course you're not. Okay, we have a surprise question which wasn't on the list.
Should we?
I think we should.
You can ask them. You're impartial in quotations.
I don't think I'm terribly impartial. I mean, I ask this question all the time, and we've asked it of every one of our guests here. So I feel like
beam me up, Scotty.
Obligated. Unfortunately, you don't live in that fantasy world, and I'm gonna have to ask the question. No, it's one that was initiated from the very beginning of this podcast, so I feel like as tradition we have to keep it going.
It would be unfair.
It is unfair,
It's really unfair.
and yet I'm gonna ask. So,
Thank you, Kate. You're a real mate.
see, I think I already see where the handwriting is on the wall with this question. The question is, if Kate and Leon were to face each other in a pistol duel a la the 19th century,
Hamilton against.
which one of them would win? And believe me, I did not write this question. I honestly don't want either of them to fire at either of each other. But I believe initially Kate insisted on this question, if I'm not wrong.
She did.
Guilty.
Yeah, okay. So she can even verbalize her guilt. But so, I don't know why we've been asking this of all our guests, but since we have been, I'm going to ask you. Just looking at these villainous two co-hosts of the podcast, which do you think?
I would imagine that if it's pistols at dawn, I think Kate would be on time. And Leon would most probably be late, and because Kate really likes to get things done, she would have fired her shots before he arrived, and then the whole thing would have been moot. And Leon, being the noble human being that he is, would have said, "I'm not going to shoot."
That's so diplomatic. I hate it.
Come on, mate. I'm Swiss, all right?
Right.
Oh, I
I
love
like
that
the
answer.
idea of you being impatient and just shooting your shots in the air.
Yep, that's me. That would be me.
I would still shoot you, though.
Aw.
And
That's heartwarming.
there I was trying to put
No, I need the points.
a nice nimbus around you. That was a waste of bleeding time, wasn't it?
Oh, well.
Well,
You
should
did
see
your
the-
best.
You should see the statistics. It's not fair.
Yeah, Kate, you're keeping a running tab. Where are we on these?
7-1.
Ooh, 7 times Kate wins to 1 Leon.
Yep.
So,
But I didn't add to your score, did I?
No. Would be like.
Worst case scenario would be 1 to each. So it would be 8-2.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
is that what we want to do with the draw? We don't want to do 7-1-1?
No.
I'm just asking. I have no preference.
Because worst case
Go
scenario,
ahead,
end up,
talk amongst yourself.
there's a chance it ends up as 9-1-1, which is not a good idea.
True enough. Fair. So here we are then at the end of our lightning molasses round.
Yeah.
It's molasses every time.
And so that lightning that strikes for 45 straight minutes, we managed to do it. And also, I think I speak for the three of us. I don't know if I speak for Leon at this point because I actually was talking to Kate about this, but we're all very interested in your music overall. And we're wondering if you would, give us a taste, something that we can save for posterity.
Yeah, the question is posterity a good place to say?
I suppose we could try to save it for, I don't know, the past, but it seems like an impossible task.
Well, I'm going to give it a shot, and this is the sort of classic folk club introduction. The sort of like, I don't know if I can remember it all, and I'm probably going to screw it up, but here it goes.
And then you're going to nail it.
Well, probably not.
After the edit, absolutely, you're going to nail it.
No, but it's this sort of like obsession with non-professionality in the classic folk scene, which is at times a little bit grating, especially because it usually introduces something that is as disastrous as it was introduced as. So, anyway, yeah.
So what kind of piece would you be willing to play for us?
Back in the Corona days, when we were all sort of doing stuff online and Zoom conversations, and where academics were basically meant to publish because now was the time to publish. I came up with this variation of Mr. Sandman, which is basically being torn between having to do stuff before you could go to bed, so please stay away, and realizing that tomorrow was going to be another day of endless Zoom meetings, and so sleep would be good. But yeah, so there's this song called "The Corona Lecturer's Anti-Lullaby."
As opposed to the Uncle Lullaby. No, ANTI, I imagine. Okay.
To be fair, it's very fitting since we basically created the podcast during
The podcast
Corona.
was a Corona brainchild. It
Yeah.
really was.
Oh wow! Okay.
So we've been at least running that long. All right. Well, then let's get you set up and get a little treat with the... what was it again? It's a very long title. I'm sorry. I forgot
It's just
that.
called Corona, Mr. Sandman.
Oh, Corona, Mr. Sandman. That's much easier to remember. So here we go.
Mr. Sandman, for goodness sake, don't come to me, I must stay away. I really need to finish the podcast for this lecture. Not much of it makes sense and most of that's conjecture. Sandman, can't have you interloping. Till I've saved this thing, my eyes need to stay open. God, the Camtasia trips me up again, blues. And I really can't afford to snooze. Mr. Sandman, don't come tonight. I need to write a conclusion that's smart and watertight. And when I'm done, I know it sounds daft, I feel like I have written the 27th draft. Sandman, I'm so alone, I've typed my fingers down to the bone. We should be publishing now, no ifs and buts, but these damn four walls are driving me nuts. Mr. Sandman, have you got my number? I'm really desperate for a bit of light slumber. 4 hours I've been lying sleepless in my bed. Computer screen still dancing round my head. Sandman, tomorrow will be oh bother. A relentless string of Zoom meetings chasing each other. I see faces in small squares when I count sheep. So Mr. Sandman, let me have some Sandman. Let me have some Sandman. Let me have some sleep.
We still have to do a little bit of talking. Franz, thank you so much for sharing the music first and foremost. That's a lot of fun. For us, I think this is the first, aside from the music that we did ourselves, the first music that we've ever been treated to on our podcast. It's amazing, wonderful, and thank you very much for that.
Well, you're very welcome, and thank you for indulging an old fart like me to, hold fourth, fifth, and possibly sixth. And yeah, it's been a wonderful way of rounding off. Almost rounding off.
Almost.
A week in Bielefeld. Enjoyable as always. My son claims that I don't want to tell him where I went because Bielefeld does not exist.
Oh, he's still on that train, eh?
I can actually testify to the fact that it does.
Well, or we're all actors. I mean, that's the other option.
Yeah.
It's a
But
government project.
Yeah, but we don't have that kind of MAGA paranoia, do we?
Not yet.
I was thinking you were going to go a different direction and say that North Rhine-Westphalia doesn't have that kind of money to spend on actors.
Yeah, but I must admit, I'm sort of intrigued by the idea that there is an East Westphalia. Which
East-West.
because like East and West kind of cancels each other out. So why not just call it failure?
And then we would have an Eastphalia and a Westphalia that's less confusing than East Westphalia.
Yeah.
I like it. And as far as entertaining old farts, I mean, The old farts are the best ones, aren't they?
Yeah. Seasoned.
Fermented.
Oh my God. I was thinking
This
dissipated.
This
Dissipated.
Is going
It's
downhill
like
even faster.
you don't even smell them anymore was the idea I was going for, but sure, why don't we run with your ideas?
Everyone ages. You just have to decide if you age like wine or like butter or milk.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Or like kimchi.
that's very, very deep.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I like guests that give me compliments. It counteracts the other people over there.
Wow. Okay.
We,
So, I
we
mean,
love
that's
you.
two.
We love you in our own little way, you know.
See, you're getting all the love today, Leon. Soak it up.
He said that, you didn't.
Exactly. All right, folks. Well, I guess I would have to say, as per usual, Leon, always a pleasure. Kate, always a privilege. And Franz, thank you so much for all of your time, and we appreciate you spending it on us.
Well, thank you for having me. And I'm not just saying that because one says it at points like that. And no, Brian, Kate, Leon, it's been a real pleasure to be on your podcast.
You're welcome back anytime.
In 3 years, right?
I think I'm going to go and have a word with the powers that be.
Uh-oh.
The ones that hold on to the purse strings.
Indeed. Fair enough. In that case, folks, I'm just going to say this is Anglisten Assemble checking out Excelsior. Until next time.
Give you a try. If you do well, you can go a long way. But if you fail,
The producers pledge that they will produce
you
only
can go a long way
videos
too.
which will contribute to your musical enjoyment and successfully meet your high-quality standards.
This episode of Anglisten Assemble was privately produced as a joint non-profit informational project of students and staff at the beautiful Bielefeld University. All views and opinions expressed on the show in no way reflect the official views of the university and are solely the perspectives of our hosts and guests. Information provided is true to the best of our knowledge at the time of production, but this is naturally subject to change as some details are time sensitive. Anglisten Assemble is produced and edited by Kate Lee, Leon Dalashel, and Brian Rosema for the private use of our quality audience. If you want to get updates and further info about Anglisten Assemble, check out our Insta at anglisten.assemble. And if you're enjoying what you hear, throw us a 5-star review on Spotify. Those help us spread the word and get more Anglisten to join the assembly. Musical accompaniment today includes the sonic stylings of music from allesgehmerfrei.de. And finally, we'd like to thank our special guest today, the fantastically fascinating Franz Andres Morrissey.